Good morning. My name is Allie Duzett, Medical Intuitive, and today we are resetting our polarity. So please grab your paper, your pen, water, and tissues. You'll want to be very well hydrated. You just never know when this kind of work will make you cry. And I love being able to take notes during a session. Today we are focusing on resetting polarity. All cells in a body have a polarity. Just like a magnet has a north pole and a south pole, so do all the cells in a human body. And just as anything electronic has a positive end and a negative end, or positive charge and negative charge, it's kind of the same thing. It's a polarity. And the body is polarized just like a magnet and just like electricity, because we all have an electromagnetic field, okay? So all of our cells actually run on electricity, and this is not like, this is like verified fact, and you can just go and Google that. Like, our bodies do use electricity, and electricity does have polarity, and we have this electromagnetic field. And so just like a magnet, just like electricity, there's a north and south end. And this is the proper polarity for a human. We all want to have north-south polarity all the time, okay? But when we have a trauma, it can dislodge our polarity. And once your polarity gets dislodged, then all sorts of weird stuff is possible. Like, you could have east-west polarity, west-east polarity, north-south, or variable, which means like your polarity is kind of swinging around. And you can imagine it like a compass in your mind, with an arrow that's like, instead of pointing north-south or even south-north or west-east, the arrow is just swinging around in a circle. And so it makes you feel very unmoored and makes you feel like, I don't know, just like kind of disconnected from reality a little bit. Like, it's hard to discern what's true and what's not when your polarity is off. The polarity can become dislodged due to physical or emotional trauma, as I said. And I just want to clarify what kind of emotional or physical trauma, and it really comes down to basically anything. A lot of people get their polarity off because of like birth, and sometimes babies come with their polarity off. And a lot of times babies that are breech have already come with a south-north polarity, okay? And sometimes just fixing a baby's polarity can fix their position in the womb. And people, a lot of times their polarity will go off from like an acute injury, like a car accident, an injury where there's like a big impact to the physical body can easily throw off the polarity. And then big emotional stuff. So walking in and finding your spouse doing something horrible that they should not do, like that can definitely throw off your polarity. Even engaging in like certain addictions, or like doing various stuff that's bad for our bodies in an acute way can throw off the polarity. So there's a lot of ways for somebody's polarity to get off. And there's a few ways to fix polarity, but today we're going to focus on doing some imagery work to help with that, and then we're going to work on retraining the body to hold on to its polarity. So why does polarity matter? If you are not properly polarized, you cannot muscle test accurately. It is harder to hear your own intuition. You might find yourself having opposite reactions to things. So instead of being happy, you might feel sad, and you'd be like, I should feel happy right now, but I don't. And so if that sounds familiar to you, like if that sounds kind of like the definition of depression, yeah. And I understand that a lot of people that deal with depression have an unstable or, non-north-south polarity. And so when we have, these feelings that don't make sense, a lot of times it can just come down to polarity, and you reset the polarity and it can take a lot of stress off the body. Being properly polarized is always going to make you feel more like yourself. So today we're going to work through 3 images. You can go ahead and close your eyes. Image number 1 is a compass with the arrow swinging around wildly, okay? And so imagine that compass, and the arrow's just like pointing here, pointing there. It's just swinging around willy-nilly. And emotions come up of confusion and feelings of, I'm not really sure how things are supposed to work. So it's like this compass doesn't even know, like it knows something's wrong, but it's like, but I don't know why, and I don't know how it's wrong. So imagine a tube of light coming down to shine on that compass, teaching it how to function and how to point north south. Imagine the compass taking in this information and assimilating it and suddenly understanding it and giving you a thumbs up. And see that compass point north south. This little arrow should be pointing directly to the north, which obviously means the opposite end of it is pointing to the south. So breathe that in. Imagine that compass giving you a thumbs up. It is pointing north south. Breathe it in. Wow. Okay, number 2, resistance. Now we are calling up all of the energies that have led to shifts in polarity. Imagine all of these energies in your own life gathering together into one giant mass. It will look like just a big old blob of gunk. So you might see some memories in this mass because we're just setting the intention, everything that's led to a shift in polarity. Um, it's all just gathering there. And so that might include a picture of a fight with your mom, a picture of your spouse engaging in addiction, a piece of energy from when you were engaging in an addiction, or like a car accident, or whatever kind of trauma, even like being born or giving birth to somebody else, like all of these kinds of traumas. You're just going to see this big pile of everything that's affected your polarity with maybe like a little picture on it, but we don't have to relive the memories. We're just saying like, oh, like, okay, this memory, this memory, this memory. Okay, this makes sense. If you see something that is traumatic for you just to even see, then just change the color of the picture, change it to be like pink, change it purple, change it orange, just change its color a few times, and then just focus on something else. And a lot of times that will just scramble up the trauma involved with that. So go ahead and gather every memory that has contributed to the polarity being off and gather it into one gigantic pile of gunk. Okay, so you should have like I mean, everyone's going to be different. So maybe your pile will be small, maybe your pile will be like as tall as a house. It doesn't matter. Just scrape everything up into one single pile. And when you're ready, take a huge hammer. I'm thinking like Thor's hammer, okay? This indestructible, massive hammer, and you're gonna smash this pile into nothing. You're gonna smash it into dust, okay? So we're gonna be here for just a few moments. We're gonna do our deep breaths and just imagine, take all of those memories that led to shifts in your polarity, and we're just smashing them. Bam, 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 bam. Every trauma, every traumatic memory, we're honoring it, and we're making it small. That's what we're doing. We're not destroying these things, we're just making them smaller. So you can just tell them like, we're not trying to ruin you, little memories, like I'm not trying to kill you, we're just saying thank you for being there and now you need to be smaller. Okay, so smash it up into dust. We'll do like 5 really good breaths here. Okay, so you should have a big pile of dust that was previously memories of things that have shifted your polarity. So when this dust is like pretty fine, it should be so tiny, okay? Each little piece, if you go and imagine picking it up and slipping it through your fingers, it should feel like very fine sand or just like very, very fine, tiny, tiny dust, you know? So imagine that and just double check to make sure if it's not then just smash it again. You might ask for an angel's help to smash it into dust if you're having troubles, and like have the angel shine a light onto the pile that is going to break up any resistances that the pile has to being smashed. So let's just double check the pile is dust. And then we're going to take a deep breath. And we're going to just breathe all this dust out of your system. So you can imagine you're taking your deep breath, and when you breathe out, you're going to blow all that dust out of your system, and just see it. It will look kind of like like if the earth had an edge and you could like fall off the edge. You're like blowing this stuff off of the edge of the map. Okay, so just blow it off, and it's leaving your field forever. And we love it and honor it, and it's time to just release this energy to the next stage of its existence, because we don't need it here anymore. And so we're just going to let it go and let it do its next thing. You know, energy can't be created or destroyed. When we release our negative energy, that gives it the opportunity to be recycled into positive energy. So we're just saying thank you. All of these images that have been memories that, you know, impacted me so significantly, like, thank you. And now it's time for you to go be recycled. And I love you, you know, I love you, all you memories, but go enjoy being positive now. Breathe it out. And imagine an angel stamping where the pile was with a big old stamp that says permanently resolved. Okay, all of those old memories that impacted polarity, permanently resolved. And you can even imagine that being stamped inside your brain. On there should be like a compass inside your brain, the compass from image number 1, where we have this needle that's, you know, pointing where it needs to point. You can just stamp that compass permanently resolved, and imagine that needle pointing straight forward through your forehead, in between your eyes. So breathe and breathe, and just breathe out all residual trauma and gunk that has contributed to the polarity being off. And you may tap here if you're still feeling waves of things moving through you, and just keep breathing and breathing, because for some of us, these piles are going to be pretty big. So it might take a little minute for you to breathe it out. It might take days, in which case we're just going to set the intention that over the next few days, all of the remaining dust from this image is going to be breathed out and transmuted and recycled, so that it can become positive energy instead. And we're just going to hold space for that. We're going to believe that. And we're going to allow that to happen over the next few days, that everything that has contributed to our polarity being off is being resolved gently and easily, comfortably, and in a slow and gentle timed release. So just breathe that in. A few more breaths. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm seeing a thumbs up. I'm seeing that some of us are going to have to keep breathing for a few days. I mean, like, you can go do your normal life, but over the next few days, with every breath, a little bit more is going to process. It should not take over a week for anybody. But so for some of us, this may have cleared the resistance right away. For some of us, you're going to feel the real effects of this session, you know, about a 7-day week from now. So just be on the lookout for the changes that you notice as the days go by. Okay, it is time to tap. Let's go ahead and tap, 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 tap on your collarbone, on your forehead, on your knees, on your elbows, wherever you want to tap. And we're going to say these out loud together. I honor all the emotions involved with every situation that has previously thrown off my polarity. I call back all my personal power from every situation that threw off my polarity. I am now releasing all negative energies that have contributed to off polarity in the past. I know now how to maintain a proper polarity. My polarity can stay north-south even when I am exposed to sudden or unexpected traumas. I know how to stay north-south polar no matter what is going on in my body or in my emotions. And go ahead and put your hand on your heart. Breathe that in. A few really good deep breaths. We're just resetting the whole body system. And you can imagine like the top of your head is like this positive end, it's the north end, and the like your feet being the negative end or the south end. Okay, imagine in your mind that compass with a needle pointing north, and it should be pointing right between your eyes, straight ahead of you. And that is how you can know that you have this proper polarity when you go into your mind and imagine a compass needle in your head. Where is it pointing? And if it's pointing off in some skiwampus direction, then you're wrong. You got to fix it. Come where you watch this, do some tapping, like do these different things to reset your polarity. But it should point straight through, straight in between your eyes. And your imagination will be really helpful to you. And in my experience, your imagination is probably going to be remarkably accurate. So if you easily imagine this needle pointing straight through the center of your forehead, then you're probably north-south polar. If you're imagining that needle swinging around wildly or like kind of pointed off to the side or pointed backwards, your polarity is probably going to be like off, you know? So let's just breathe one more time. I know how to stay north-south polar no matter what is going on in my body or emotions. And let's go ahead now with the conclusion. We're going to tap again, and we're going to say this 3 times. If you don't have people around, say it loud, okay? We're going to tap, 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 and just say, I am north-south polar. I am north-south polar. I am north-south polar. And put your hands on your heart and breathe it in. Shake it out. Shaky shakes. Breathe it out. Okay. Wow. Thanks for being here.